Hi, Cindy. Hi, everybody else that's here. Sorry I was late. I had the wrong camera up. For some reason, my camera that shows my face was up. I was like, no, I'm not camera ready tonight. Let's see. I am not. Where's my phone? Oh, my phone's right there. I brought my phone in. I'm not up on YouTube yet. Tonight, I'm going to show you some of the stuff I've done this week. So you go to my channel. There we are. Awesome. Chat filter, all messages. Woo! There. Oh, you're here too, Barbie. Hi. Sorry, I was a minute late. So, I got an order from Temu. So I used some of that. And last week, let me move those things that I was working on. Last week we worked on these, and they're getting to the point that they may be, salvageable. I got to add green onto them. I'm missing one. Oh, well, I'm missing two, actually. But, so I might do that at some point tonight. Let's see. I got some on Temu. They had these packets of, they're like chipboard. Well, it's not chipboard. It's like balsa wood or whatever, but they're 2x2s. So I ordered them. I didn't know what I was going to do with them. Let's turn it more this way. There we go. But I think I'm going to make a big canvas, and I'm going to there's 20 of them, so I'll do like a 4 and 5. But I started putting them together, making stuff. I have this, but I'm not sure. Those two birds are cute. I have that word, and then I have that one that went to that. So I've started just collaging on them. And I may make like a mosaic and see what I can do with all my collages. So I've been doing that. And if you have tiny scraps, this is perfect because you use tiny scraps for this. And I have lots of tiny scraps. Sorry, I had to take a drink. Let's put my scissors up there. So I did these last night. Who is your partner for clusters? I mailed it to her. Her name is Victoria O'Neill. It went out today. I've never made clusters before. Is it Victoria? Yeah, I think she goes by Tori. But I mailed it out today with all my packages. Look how bright these colors are from last night. Ooh, I should maybe adjust my there. So I'm not washed out. But these are all the neon colors that I got. So they're fun to use. Let me put these envelopes away. And let me keep these together. Uh-oh. What happened to my word? Great, I lost it. That's all right. So I've done 5 of those, which means I have 15 left. So I don't know how long that will take me. And then I got a couple packets. Well, I got 3 packets of stencils. Now, I love stencils. I just usually don't spend money on them because they're expensive. But these weren't. So this one, yeah, you can kind of see it. I need a black paper to use sometimes too. So these are just dots and stars. These are 5x5 squares. Waves, a heart. Oops, there was a piece of it. It's a rose. I like this one. It's like a wood or a zebra. And then leaves. You got 2 different ones on this one. Some lines. Some more roses. Hey, that one's not punched out yet. There. This one. Oh, this was one of my favorites. It has the dragonflies in it. I love dragonflies. They're so cool. These. More dots. I love dots and circles. And then there's one with words. I may not use that one. Then I got this one, and I think it was like splats or paint stains or something like that. And it came with 4 individual ones. Hi, Moss Place. How are you doing? Haven't seen you in a long time. And then this one's drips. And then more drips and blotches. And then this one has stars. I like this one. And then they have them bigger too. Oh, now they're upside down there. So these are 8x10s. There's the coffee stain right there. That is from a Tim Holtz stencil, I think. And I bought them to use on my jelly plate and then to use over in mixed media. So, oh, those are bigger. What size are these? These are 6x6s. So, and then I got one more pack. I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. Today I got to see a friend that we've been friends since like 2002, I think. I hadn't talked to her in a long time, so we had lunch. And these are like gears, like a steampunk kind of. I love this one, how it goes from the pattern and then it like falls apart. I like that. So these will be fun to use. Dots and dots and dots. I like those. And this one goes from small to big. And then this one's just different swirls. And then that. I was watching, right before I came on, I was watching Nicole at Relax Cut Glue. And she got a mandala set. And I'm not very good at mandalas, but it helps you by making the circles and then the pattern. So I was thinking I may see if I can find that set on Temu, because, you know, it's not like I don't order from them a lot. So I got all those stencils, and I do have some others that I got from Temu that I haven't opened yet. So I think they're worth it. You know, you pay between 79 cents, and I think the most expensive pack I've ever seen was like 5 something, so under $6, and that was like a pack of 10 or something. And these, I only paid $3 or less for all of these, each one of them. So, I have a box, a 12x12 box that I keep all my stencils in, and that's upstairs, but that's where these will go so that I don't lose them. Like I lost my PM Artist Studio ones. Oh, yes, she is. I turned you blue. She is. Thanks for doing that, Cindy. Look at you being all good to me. So what else? Oh, and so I got these, Cindy. I got these from Temu. They're Zhuting brushes. I love them. They're a little light, but they don't lose any. I used them with my watercolor, and they don't lose any of their, you know, they don't shed. None of the bristles are. So I really like these. I highly recommend them. And they were like $3, not, you know, I don't pay much more than that. Now I have bought a couple t-shirts from them. Oh, you have these? They're great. These are all, I did not expect it. They're just a little light, but that's okay. I can get past that. I enjoyed them a lot. So I highly recommend these if anybody sees them. And like I said, I think it's like $3 or under. The only thing I've paid more for were I've gotten 2 pair of shoes from them, but both of those I've gotten for under $10. And I bought 3 shirts from them now, or 2 shirts. And both of those I got for $5. So I really like them. Although I ordered a smaller shirt, and I'm not sure if it's going to fit. It was like a 16, 18. But it should fit. I'm that size. I've gone over 60 pounds now. Over 60 pounds down. And then I ordered these. I'm not sure about them. But I wanted to just try them for watercolors and see. Hey, Elizabeth. So I hope your mom's doing okay, sweetie. And I hope you're taking care of yourself too. I know that's hard, but it's important for you to stay healthy too. So these I got more to play with on the jelly plate, and not use my expensive ones for that. So that's about all you could say. So I got those. Elizabeth, I got these. They're watercolors from Temu. They're the opera colors, which means they're the neon colors by Paul Rubin. And they are so bright and fun. So these came in tubes, so I put them in here. Ugh, they don't dry out. I can tell you that. Although it's rained, we've almost had 2 inches of rain in June in Colorado, and that's crazy. So first I was going to play with these. I wanted to cover a couple more of them. This one's probably pretty close to finished. And it has book pages, a magazine, a piece of washi, and then a stamp. Oh, and then that's scrapbook paper. So that one's probably pretty close to done. This one, oh, it goes like this. So this one it's part of this. I cut it in half, and then the other part is up here. So like that. It was a strip. And then I put some purple on it and some words and stuff. So they don't take a lot to make. It's not probably done. I need one more thing. But I don't have a stamp the right color. This one I like just the way it is. It's very plain. It has a piece of a book page, then this paper, and then another piece of a book page. And then I have this one, which I kind of ripped her head off. So I'll have to cover that with something. And then this one it has washi tape and more washi tape and then a number on it. So I was just looking at all my little scraps that I had in a pile that were going to go in the trash. So I just was like, oh, I can use that, and I'll use that. And I glued all those on with either Elmer's glue or my favorite glue, which is a purple Avery glue. It's a glue stick too. So I really like the Avery one. It's cheaper and it's archival, and it holds really well. So I really like that one. So let's see. I have to my left, I have a pile. And then I have these two. So I actually, let's see, maybe this one I'll use for this little set. Oh. Yes, that's how that goes, Elizabeth. I'm sorry. That's hard. I remember with my mom. There we go. My mom was like yours. She'd been healthy all the time too. Oh, look, I got a new one. So I just put onto the wood, and I put it on pretty heavy because the wood is going to soak it up. And then this paper is really dry, so it will soak it up too. Just know, Elizabeth, we're all here praying for you and your mom. sometimes just knowing that helps. Oh, look, my paint came off my hand on that. So I like that. That's a good start. And I usually work on 2 or 4 of these. I've been sitting at my couch and making mess in our front room, but that I only have certain pieces that I can use then because I only keep a little bit out there. Let's see. Okay, that one I made a little big, but that's okay. And somebody asked me the other day about my glue, and like, I don't glue precise or whatever. And these are cheap enough that I would rather make sure that my items stay stuck than save a little on them. So that's more important to me. Especially because I will be putting this one on, probably onto a piece of mat or a piece of canvas called canvas board. And I'll probably be butting them up against each other. So I colored all the edges in case there are gaps. Avery glue. You could get it. Oh, here, I have one right here. So it's the purple glue, I call it, because it's purple outside. And it is purple inside too, so you know when it's dry. And it's an office supply. So you can get it at office supply stores, but I ordered a huge thing of them off Amazon. And it was cheaper than getting these. So, and I know there are lots of people who collage and mix media who say they won't use those because it doesn't work and doesn't hold. But I have always used Elmer's glue. Even in college, we were supposed to use Oohoo or whatever that one is that's blue and yellow, but it's expensive. And I was poor in college. So I used Elmer's a lot of times in college even. And all that stuff's held. Oh, I like it too. They used to be the only ones that changed colors. And then Oohoo or whatever that one's called started doing that too. But you pay more for the ones that change color at Oohoo. So originally when they started collage, the first one was shown in the early 1900s, and a lot of artists would just do it because they didn't have like cameras and stuff. They would do it to visualize what was going to happen in their pieces and stuff. And then Matisse came out and did, his famous collages where he has like certain shapes and stuff that he cuts. And he has a whole like I would call it a catalog of those. Like I have a catalog of my different mark making things that I make. That I can open and look at. It's just a sketchbook that I put different marks in, and I play with them and try them with different mediums all on the same page so I can see it. So those are going to be okay. That's going to be a cool little part of it. So next, what should we do? Let's see. What am I missing? I've never had issues either, but you have to use enough of it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It didn't, they used to say it wasn't real art, but I don't care. I'll do whatever I want. Artists can do what they want. Made lots of flour paste. My mom made that for me sometimes. Well, actually, I think we used it for, what are those things called? Piñatas or paper mache things. So like this is what I do when I'm collaging, even big collages, is I get started and there might be something I like, but I will do, 4 or 5 different places or pieces because I don't have the idea of like what I really want to do with it. And so like this piece, this was torn off from the paper that we did last week. And that was left over. And I'm putting watercolor paper on it. Hi, Bear. And so you want to make sure watercolor paper is really heavy. So I put a lot on there. And then I go and put if you're worried about something thick not sticking, then put glue on what you're sticking it to and then on the piece itself. The one problem I have with glue, oh, I don't want that piece on there. I don't like it. The one problem I have is then my fingers look nasty. Oh, really? I don't know if I've ever seen Elmer's glue at my Dollar Trees here in Colorado. I also cut my stuff when it's wet. When the glue is wet. I'll clean my scissors off someday, maybe not. Actually, I use my scissors so often, so you can see it's coming up a little bit right there. So it has to be pushed down. So I'm going to take it and push it upside down. Okay, there, that sealed it in. So I may leave that piece upside down and put a little weight on it for now. And now, so I'll have these and I'll be able to shuffle through them like a deck of cards. And if you're doing collage and then you add paint to it, which I might. Oh, I know that Jot brand glue. I don't even know how they call it glue. So I Taurus and it's white there. I don't want it white. So I will tear a little strip of that away because I don't want the white edges. But I do like this. Oops. So if you tear down, you won't get white edges. If you pull up, you get the white edge. So I know that Jot glue is terrible. Terrible. So I know on one of the clusters I made, I think I used the Avery glue, the stick glue, the Avery one. And I put on a little wood leaf, like a wood button that was a leaf on it. And it stuck. I was wondering if it would stay. And it stuck really well. So another way to clean off your edges, if you don't want to trim them or they're really close like this, you can use an emery board, like a nail file. And that helps seal it in because you'd go, against the grain like this. And it'll help seal this in and it'll take off any jaggedies that you have. So I will go around to do that at the very end if I have issues with any of them. And if something comes up after you've glued it, you can, like what I do. So you see there's extra purple glue there. I don't want that to stick to this when I turn it over. So I will push it back towards the piece I'm gluing and it makes an edge and kind of seals it in. That's one thing you can do. You can wipe it off with a wet wipe or a cleaning towel. I don't want it to, this is actually a painting that I have turned upside down. Oh, see, that stuck really well. Good. I'm going to do the same to this one. And I like the Elmer's because this bottom's flat. And so you can rub everything on with it and make sure it's all down. And you can't do that with the Avery because it's concave. So there's some benefits. I keep the caps off these. But yeah, somebody was debating me about the glue the other night. And I was like, I'm not going to debate it. If you don't like it, then don't use it. But I haven't ever had a problem unless I didn't put enough glue on it for it to stick. And that's always been my problem. Sorry, I have a piece of hair and it's annoying me. There. Oh, I saw my friend today and she's like, oh my God, your hair. Because it's longest, right about the longest it's ever been. 2 years, the 2 years we stayed home, I didn't get it cut. And so it was maybe this long or a little bit shorter. And so I hadn't seen her. And she's like, oh, I could see you lost some of it. And I'm like, yeah. Ooh, I really like these. Well, these colors are my colors. So I really like that. I think I'm only going to have 2 of those. Well, hold on. Let me see. Ooh, I have that one. This is why you save all your scrap paper. And someday when I'm organized enough, I can show you. I have a box that everything little like this will go in, and anything bigger than like a square, like a 2x2 or a 2x3 square, goes in the next box up. And then I have like full pages that are ready to be used, like these. And so I have those 3 bins, and I like it because I can just throw them all in there. I don't have to worry about it, and it's quick. And then if it gets too full, mine haven't ever gotten too full. But if it would, I would have to go through and pare it down. I don't know. I really like this piece. And there's no pink on it, but that's okay. So what are you guys making right now? What are you creating? You making anything exciting? Are you doing a, I don't want it there. I want it a little off. Like that. Are you doing anything new for journals, Cindy? I loved your little, Cindy sells packets of her ephemera that she creates, or her collage fodder. And the one I just got from her, she had a little composition book, the little ones that are like, I guess 3x4 maybe. And she had decorated it. I loved it. I've already written stuff down in it. It's a great size to carry in your purse. Okay, that's coming up. Can't come up. Another way to get your stuff on is to use, like I said, the top of a cap or something to push down on it. I may only have 3 of those because I'm not feeling it anymore. I also found in my stencils, I got a stencil that had words on it, but I don't like, there was a couple words that were bizarre, I thought. And so I just cut out each of them ones I wanted to keep because it is easier for me to use them. This one says calm. This one says soar. I wouldn't have kept that, but it happened to cut out okay. And then this one says create. So I use create a lot. And then there's a couple more. One said art. It was bigger though. I don't think I brought it back here. One said art, and then there was one more because I was excited. Maybe it was imagine or something like that. Okay, you got to stay down. Okay. I don't like that I did an odd number of those, but that may be what it does. So I think this pen works. So this is a Sharpie paint, water-based paint. So this isn't their oil ones. Let's see. And I like to outline all of my pieces because I think it gives them more definition. I think I'm going to color this. And I love Sharpies. And I love silver more. So I have some little pieces of copper and brass from my jewelry making over there. And I think I may stamp some words on them and maybe add them. So I'll let that dry because it's pulling itself up. And then I'll go back. Ooh. If you have a torn edge, it will soak up your, there we go. It will soak up whatever medium you're putting next to it. And I like that. If it's cut, it probably won't soak it up because the grain isn't broke like it is if it's cut. you could see where the wood's soaking it up there. So when you're using a marker or whatever, if you don't want to see your marks, you keep them going the same direction. That way, even if you overlap, it's still going the same direction, and it tends not to show that you didn't complete the stroke as much. Because when I was young, they didn't have alcohol ink markers. And I've had a set. I gave it to my daughter because she does, her and Harley, my granddaughter, who's 10 and a half. They both, they diamond paint. I don't like diamond painting, man. That gives me anxiety. But then they also do coloring books, like the adult coloring books. And so I gave them I had a full set of Tombows, which is a water base, and it had a brush nib and a bullet nib on them. And you could change those. Tombow sells changes to them. So I gave them that, and I gave them my acrylic or my alcohol ink markers. Now, Temu has those on sale, or has them for sale, hacks or dupes of those. This one didn't soak up much. So I'm thinking about doing that, but they're more expensive. That's like buying paint or something. And to be honest, I'd rather have paint than I would, something else. Okay, we don't need to look at that. I didn't bring it in here. So, how I don't know if you're like me, but I lose my glue under sticks or under piles. So I got a little candlestick, and I bought a box at an auction, and there was a candlestick, and it holds this perfectly. I just haven't brought it out in here. So those are all drying. Now let's see. I really like these. I just don't know what I would add to them, but we're going. Hi, peacock feathers. Ton of salt to my, watercolor to see if it does anything. I saw someone claim it could granulate, so I wanted to try. Okay, so when you do that, you need to put a good wash down. Make sure your paper's wet and your paint is wet. Then put the salt in right away. But you have to have a good coating of your paint, of your watercolor. So you want to make it a heavy wash, but with more paint than water. So more of your color than the water, so that you have the pigment. So that when you put the salt on, it pulls the pigment and it pulls the water. So that's it. And then you might want to try with rock salt. That's what they use to make ice cream, homemade ice cream, or Himalayan salt, which is a thicker granule, or your table salt. So those are different types of salts, but you'll have to play with it until you learn the right amount of water and paint to have down for it to do that. And it does create a kind of granulating effect, but you won't get that without probably you've got to make sure you have good pigment coverage for the salt to work. My kids, when I used to teach, and or even my adults that I've taught watercolor to, they get very frustrated because they don't have enough. They have a lot of water down, so it's very wet, but they don't have enough pigment to pull up to get those effects. So that's something you definitely want to do with it. And if you use the bigger salt pieces, you'll get more pulls from each of those places. What did you say, Cindy? No problem. Outline it with black. Okay. Black. I'm sure I have a black right around here. Maybe. I may have to. I have a green. Oh, this black, but this isn't permanent. I don't know if I want to use that. Do I have a Sharpie out here? Why don't I have a Sharpie? Because I took it out there. Well, what the hey? I wonder if sitting on my paints right now. Is that a black or is that Payne's Gray? That's Payne's Gray. I know that one doesn't have a black in it. Let me see what's back here. black. Okay, so this is a Schripper Bar Farben. I don't know. I haven't used these. These I got off of, where did I get them from? Amazon. I want a little paintbrush, so we'll use my new little paintbrush. Where's my water? What color is my water? That's from last night, the neons, but that's okay because I'm going to use black. So I don't care about that. So here's the black. Most watercolor sets come with a black. Mix your own black. It will make you happier in the end. And all you have to do is mix your colors together. The more colors you mix together, the more likely you are to get black. You'll definitely get a brown, but you can make it darker by adding Payne's Gray or neutral tint to it. So I don't know why I didn't just paint the whole surface black, because I could cover it up. Of course, then I have like the smallest brush. So if you're painting a big surface, get a big brush. If you're painting a smaller surface, if you don't want to be tight, use a big brush too. Not as big as if you were painting the whole page, but bigger than what you think, because you won't be as tight. If you use a little brush, you tend to be tighter. So another way to combat that is to hold your brush at the end and use it like that, just like you would a pencil. If you wanted less control over it and make it more scribbly, if you hold it at the end, you don't have as much control over it. And so it will do that. Sharpie would look better on this because watercolor is transparent, but I don't care. There's the first one. Now this one, I'm going to use a tip. Hold on, there's water on there. There's a water bubble in there. So I'm just going to try and do a little line with this one and see how that looks. So I'm holding the brush totally up and down. I think that's perpendicular from the paper, or in this case, from the piece of wood. Oh, look, that kind of looks like a bird's beak. How funny. It's like a Rorschach test. Sharpie. Yeah, I know. A Sharpie would be better. Oh, I don't have a Sharpie in here. Oh, hey, what happened? My brush just disappeared. Okay, so this is a new one. So what they do is they gather the bristles up and then they put them into the ferrule. I think that's what that's called. But this one's going up and down. So I won't glue it, but I'll get my pliers and I'll pinch it in all the way around, crimp it like. And by doing that, it'll keep the bristles from going in. The other ones didn't do that. So I don't know if maybe this one just didn't get glued properly or what. I don't typically use tiny brushes. So I typically use bigger ones. Oh, this one has it up here. So, oh, that's not bad. You could see the wood soaks it up. Another thing to do if you're going to do on wood and you want to save your paint because you're using like acrylics that are expensive, like golden or something, gesso your surface first. So you could get transparent gesso, black gesso, white gesso, and you can tint it with your paints too to make the background whatever. But the gesso will seal the wood so it won't soak it up, so you won't get these weird lines like I'm getting here. See those lines? That's just because it's soaking it up because it has a grain. Oh, this one doesn't have a thing on it. Did I only do 3? Oh, here it is. So that's a hint for that. And if you're doing anything and you've got different surfaces and you want to use like water, or you want to use like colored pencil, but it's slick, you can use the transparent gesso and put that on. It has a tooth in it. So it allows you then to go back over with charcoal or pencil or whatever. And then if you do that, you do have to seal that. So you need to use whatever type sealer you use. You can use a matte gel medium and put that over it, or Mod Podge or whatever. They have spray seals too. Those are what I like to use because then it won't move whatever I have on the surface. And you just do very light coating with that. I'm going to have to really wash my hands before I go to bed. Hopefully I won't be too tired. The other night I went to bed and my husband, he woke up and he's looking, he goes, "You didn't wash your hands." And I had color all over them because, well, if I'm painting, it's on me usually. I wonder too. So I made all of the sides black. I told you guys that. Oh, it's so much faster to do it this way. Oh. What I was going to do is I have a black ink pad and I was going to set him down in there because I was doing it with a Sharpie and it was taking long. I was getting bored. That's the problem. It's not that it took that long. It's just I got bored and I don't want to, go off the surface like that and ruin it. These, it doesn't really matter because I'm probably going to be gluing them down on something. I don't know. The idea is rolling around in my head. So I kind of know what I want and it dries fast. I kind of know what I want, but I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. Okay. This one has very small space and I had orange on my hand. So it came off on this. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Oh, my husband, we've been married since we graduated and then we got married. And so he was in art school while I was in art school. And there were semesters that there was paint. It didn't matter. He's like, "How did you get paint in your hair? Are you sticking your brush in your hair?" Or glue, or God knows what I was doing. Sharpies. And we used to, they have micron pens, that are the different sizes. Well, you used to have those, but you'd have to refill the ink in them. They weren't disposable. And so I'd try and be filling one of those and I'd have ink everywhere. In high school, I got one of my mom's friends, her son was an artist and he passed away. And so Suzanne gave me a bunch of his supplies and he had in there a red, it wasn't oil. It was something you use for signs. I can't remember what it's called, but you use it in printing. And it was bright red. Well, it's just like red lipstick. You put red lipstick on, girls, and it's all over, like somehow it's on your hand and then it's halfway across your face. Well, I had blue carpet in my bedroom. I think it was blue. Yeah, blue carpet in my bedroom, and I got a huge patch of red on it. I don't know how. Oops, see, it sunk back down in there. See that? There, it's the magic bristles. And oh my God, I moved the furniture so that it was covered, and my mom came in. She's like, "Oh, you moved all your furniture." I'm like, "Uh-huh." And then I don't know. I think it was maybe I'd moved out and moved to college, and Jeff and we were in our own apartment, and I think she called me one night and was like, "It's funny, I moved your furniture back to how you usually liked it, and I found this red spot in the middle of the floor." It's like, "Yeah." She's like, "Do you know we have to get the whole carpet replaced because of you?" I'm like, "You were going to replace the whole carpet anyway." But yes, she was not happy. I'm just glad she found it after I moved out because I'm sure she would have made me, I don't know, clean toilets for a month or something, some horrible punishment. And then my dad we had a stool that was out in the garage and it was white and it was really old. It was from like oh shoot, I got black on there. Oh no, I'm stopping. Look, I got black. I'm stopping. It was from my grandma and grandpa's house. Are you older than me? I was born in 70. I'm 52. So I don't know. I think we're the same, pretty close to the same age. Why? Did I say something that dated me? Probably. Oh man, this is starting to really annoy me. Do I have a pair of pliers in here? That's how you know you're a real artist. Oh, I know. That's not going to work. What's this one? That one's not going to work either. Darn it. I don't have any. Do I have? No. Oh, these are crimpers. Let me see. Because this is starting to get on my nerves now. So I'm going to crimp it. So sometimes, oh yeah, it's going to change. It's not bad. It won't go back in. So sometimes your barrels or this part of your ferrule gets loose, and right around here where it's crimped on, you could just take your pliers and do that, and it'll work. It may not look as pretty as before, but brushes are to be used, not to look pretty, so that's okay. Yeah, and I always like how people are like, oh yeah, I'll do watercolor because it's not permanent, it doesn't stain permanent like acrylic or oil. I have jeans that I've had for years that have watercolor paint on them, and the stains will never come out. So trust me, it stains. And if you're using some watercolors, like a cheaper brand or using like, I don't know, some like Christy Rice is a watercolor person on YouTube, and she sells her paints. Well, her paints are awesome because they're very, very bright, but they're dye based. So it's not a pigment, it's a dye. And dye, as you know, from if you've ever used RIT dye, is permanent. So there we go. Okay, that's enough of that. I'm a mess now. So when I squished it, it did deform my brush. So just so you know, that's why I don't usually do that, but it was annoying me, so I did it anyway. I can't be annoyed now. Let's see, what are we going to do next? Okay. So yeah, it is permanent. Oh, that's not the green. Wonder what green I used on my. Okay, that one's dry. Those aren't dry yet. I don't want to put them on that one. This is the problem when I work, because I like with watercolor, you can use a hairdryer or a heat gun or whatever. I have one of those. It's upstairs. I don't have it down here. But I tend to have stuff all over because it's in different stages of being dry or not. Well, that's not the... Huh. So these are one set of Christy Rice's making art for joy's sake. And so this is the set. Yeah, you can see it all. But that's not the green I used on here. So I wonder... Maybe it was this green. I don't know. Let's see. I don't want to use that. This is one of Christy's brushes. I bought them. I was going to review them, but to be honest, I don't really like them. And that's not the right green. I don't know. These are from Temu also. These are they have them like for $3 to $6. And I got the bigger set, Cindy. It's out there because I haven't done, I was going to do a Temu art haul. I mean, I showed you the stencils. So I don't know where I got that green at. I'm going to have to look for it now. But I love these paints. I paid like $4 for them, maybe less, 3 something. And I love them. So I think they're fun. These, I don't know what I'm doing with those. So they'll go up on the side. These I'm not sure what I'm going to do with yet. So I'll put them. Have they dried? Okay. Dry. That one's not quite dry yet. And neither is that. And the way I can tell is because it's, shiny. Let's see. Let me put the Sharpie away. So one of the keys when you're working in art and you do different things is to put away your messes. Now, I preach that, but I'm not that good at it. So, do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. So what was my next thing? Oh, I brought these in. Okay, so look at this. Cindy will appreciate this. I don't know if anyone else will, but look at the the see-through part. It's almost the whole envelope. So I saved that one. I saved this one because it was just different colors. Let's see. Oh, I saved some of these because they're thicker paper. It's from a bank. And then this one has a whole open window too. So I'm going to collage on these with, what paper is this? Oh, it's this paper. So I got this paper pad. Oh, I was going to say, I don't know where I got it. I don't, because I got it at the thrift store. I paid like maybe $1 or $2 for it. So it happens to have things I like in it, like pink and green. Ooh, look at the dot one. Do I want to use that one? I don't really like that one. Blech, it's boring. That one's not boring. Ooh, I don't like that one. Look at the pink zebra. Oh, I'm a Paisley girl. Like Paisleys a lot. I loved this. It's coming across a little neon, but it's green. Or tennis ball. I don't know. Do you call tennis balls yellow or green? That was a psychological test we did in college. It was one of the questions on it in my psych class. Let's see. What do I want to do? They also have other ones in the back. Let's see. Ugh. Ugh. So, ooh, that is gorgeous. Just little pops of green or bright. I like that one. I really like this one. Oh, maybe I could do stripes and dots. I don't know. It shouldn't take me so long to figure out something. So this is loose, so I'll use that. Ugh. Oh, I'll just use it. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I like these envelopes because they have the acetate in the back. So whenever I put in, you'll see through, but you don't want to see, like this one is pretty good because it only has the 2 things down here at the bottom. But I thought I would, since this is a 6x6, we'll do this. I thought I would make something out of them and then, I don't know, someday use it. I mean, that's what like Carrie the Crafter and Gail Augustinelli do. But quit moving it. So you put your ruler. Now I know some people turn it over because they don't like that it's raised a little bit. It doesn't really, if you hold it down, it doesn't make a difference. So I tend to do that. Okay, perfect. So I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I don't know. I'll have a box of crap that I could pick from if I ever did anything with it. And these have rounded edges at the end here, but I don't, the round edge doesn't matter to me. And I left the torn edge, it goes over the acetate just a little bit. And I didn't tear it quite straight, so I can go back and cut that later. So let's see. I want it over here up on top. So we'll do it here. And when you are pull or tearing, always tear with the biggest part of your paper because you get a better grip and you can pull it better. So let's see, how did I do? I did terrible, but that's okay. I can just cut that off. Oh, excuse me. And you really shouldn't use the surface to put glue on because like I'm a messy gluer. See the glue that's left over? Your thing will get stuck to it. So you shouldn't do that. Once again, do as I say, not as I do. Or do it and learn. Okay, I'd rather have it. Oh, this is why I love this glue. Oh, there. I'd rather have it over this way. Oh, I didn't quite cover the top. Darn it. Maybe I'll use some washi tape or something. I don't have a lot of washi tape. I mean, I do, but it's not like cool washi tape. So I think that's something I'm going to have to order from Temu too, because they have like the washi tape deals where you can get like 20 things for like $3. Let's see. I'm thinking I'm going to do like this with it around this corner. So why don't I'm going to go to here. Oh, I don't have a pencil. I'm going to go to here. So I see that. And then, let's see. It's going to be right here. To right here. I'm trying to do this as all one piece. It may be futile, but you know, I'm trying. So I'm going to tear it to, okay, so let's see if I can do this. This is taxing my brain very late at night with math. Okay, what was I going to do? Oh, I'm going to tear it right here from this edge down here to my mark, which is right there. And I am going to do it on the smaller side because I don't want to tear past that. So I did it very easily. So now I have that much. Hey, I think I may do this right. And then let's see, I marked it here. I didn't mark the top, but let's see. That's pretty straight. Upstairs, I have a mat, and I would just do it with my mat. Oh, if I do it this way, so if I do it this way, I can pull from here and have a better chance. Now let's see how I did. See if my brain's working this late at night. So there. Look at that, guys. So I need to tear it off about here. Do I want that kind of tear, or do I want... Oh, I didn't get over as far as I did up there. So I have to fix that. That's going to drive me nuts. So I will... This is where I will flip my ruler over, because I'm just tearing off a tiny bit. Maybe I'll just cut it. I feel more confident in my cutting skills than I do my... Okay, let's see if that's better. There. Oh, that's pretty close. I might just put a washi or something. Or I might just go back and cut it again. So I have... So I did the swap in the Makers of Mixed Media group for May, and then whoever you swapped with sent you the swap plus 3 things to make something with. And so so my girl did that, and she sent me a napkin. I think she sent me a jelly print pull. What was the other thing? And then she sent me, what was the third thing she sent me? I can't remember now. But she also, she sells cards that she makes. You know, she has them printed at Kinko's and sells like greeting cards that she makes. So what I'm going to do with her stuff that she sent me is I'm going to make it and use that card that she sent me, and the pages are going to be, or the signature is going to be out of the other stuff she sent me. And then I'm going to mail it back to her as a finished piece, so she'll have it. I thought that was rather clever of myself. Now this one, I don't think I have a big enough piece. I didn't think that through. So this one, well, it'll be a lot easier for us all. There we go. Here we go. Night. Have a great evening. I remember those days of getting worn out. Who am I kidding? There are days that I have my granddaughter and she wears me out. Thanks for stopping by. I enjoyed having you. You're always welcome in my studio. There, so I'll glue that one on. So yeah, I'm going to do that. So I have to do a haul, or I don't know what the hell you call it, but a tape of the swap. Is this the piece I tore? I didn't do a very good job. Okay. So I have to do that. And I started working on it right away because I got the idea, like, right away. So I have to, I'll just film them both at the same time, I think. And then, I don't think she is subscribed to my channel or anything. So that doesn't matter. She won't see it. But I thought it would be fun because she did have a journal that was, oh, that's not going to work. Oh, well. She would have a journal of her own creation made by somebody else. I thought that was fun. I sent her, what did I send her? I sent her a piece of one of my paintings that I had ripped up, and one of my watercolors. And then I don't know what else I sent her. I can't remember. It was a couple weeks ago. My brain doesn't hold things that long. Okay, I forgot I had to put that down there. So there we go. Now, there are people who, this has to be trimmed on the back. There are people who make these envelope windows, whatever the heck they're called. Peep windows or whatever, peepers. And then they keep, like, this has a really cool pattern behind it, but they keep copies of all of the different security patterns. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I didn't cut very well. Okay, so when you want to cut close to something, you want to do it so your scissors are going this way so that you can have the blade. You can set your piece against the blade right where you want to cut. And that's how you get a close, straight cut. Because your scissor blades are supposedly straight. If you're not like me and use them for things that you shouldn't use scissor blades for, to pry things open and such. Yeah, grandbabies take it right out of me. Well, and she has trouble sleeping, my granddaughter, so she stays up late at night. So I always try and get her to, we have her on the weekends, so I'll let her stay up till midnight, but then she has to go to sleep. She doesn't get a choice. So I would like to put like a pull out in here of something, but I don't know what. Hey, I did. How big is this page? That would be a fun pull out. I should finish it and then it would pull out. I don't know. I don't know. But I have an envelope that is now a peep window envelope that's all ready to be used. So I am going to cut this off. I have a cutter too, a paper trimmer. I have a guillotine and I have the other kind that rolls or whatever, because that's not straight, but that's okay. I don't care. It's pretty close. That I can do that with. And I might put some more decoration on here. I ordered some flowers from Temu that I don't know why I ordered them. I knew they were stickers or they're just the flower and it's clear acetate, and then you just glue that down, because I can't figure out if they're stickers or not. But that would be kind of cool on here, one of those, because they're kind of big. So that might be cool on there. So anyway, I have that. I would glue it down on a journal page is how I would do it. And then it's a pocket for somebody, I think. I don't know. I don't even know what they use these for. Like, I'm a journal maker. I'm not. Cindy is. So I know that the first thing you do is you glue down anything that's loose like this. Don't glue over there because that's not part of the envelope. That's part of the, oops. You want to be able to still, oh, okay, good. I didn't get that in. Oh, how, a year and a half. Yeah, my grandbaby and her family lived with us from the time she was about 4 months old until she was 5. And I loved it. I mean, it was hard, like when Blake, my son-in-law, and my daughter would work and we'd have to watch her, and she's special needs, but yeah, boy. But I was a lot younger then. I was 5 years younger. So this time, because this has the curve, I will put it further over so that the curves are covered up on each side. So, and I have fun playing with my scraps and figuring out what the hey I'm going to do with them. I don't know. I watch a bunch of journal makers, and I have like 3 journals that I need to sew the signatures in because I have fun making the signatures. They're just the pages in a journal or a book. And so I have a lot of fun doing that, but I haven't sewn any yet. I might actually have to do that. This is the one I'm working on for myself. Well, I don't know. I may send it to a friend, but this is an old painting I had that's hideous. I don't know what I was thinking, but I outlined it, and I'm going to put like journal or something up here. And then on the inside, I used my things and made pockets on each side. And then I'm making these signatures. So I have this one. I have my cow. It's just the cow head. It was a milk ad. And then I'm going to glue this down here. And then I have these, which are from, I don't know what they're from, but I got them at the Dollar Tree. I got a huge packet of them, and I'm going to put, I have 2 of them here and here. So this one says, "You are brilliant." And this one says, "The future belongs to those who believe the magic of the dreams." So I'm going to use tape, washi tape, to put those up so they'll be on each side of it. And then this is handmade paper. This is one of my papers. And then I'm going to cut this off and make it into a pocket page. So I love doing this part of it. It's fun. But now I have to sew them all together. Oh, and then somebody sent me this in Happy Mail. And I put it on the back and made it into a little tux place or something they call that. Yeah, the cow. I cut off all the words around it, and then I'm going to use the green paper behind them. And over here, I'll put some paper too. So yeah, you'll be able to journal. I guess people journal in them. Me, I look at them. Oh, those are pretty. I'm not going to. But I'll have this so I could send to somebody. I'm just going to have one signature because it was just a page. It was just, I had cut out part of it already. So, and I put a couple butterflies on there. But yeah, so that's like my journals aren't like, they're not stupendous or anything. But I have fun making them. And I think that's by far more important than whether they're good or not. Let's see. That is not straight, so I don't want to use that. I fancy myself gonna be a journal maker. Probably won't, but I like journals, and I have tons of them. When I was a therapist, I would hand them out to my clients, my people. And, you know, I would tell them they should use it to journal and give them ideas and prompts or whatever. I had huge ones. Even my hypnosis clients, I would give journals to. So I have tons of journals. I'm not a writer. So I want blank space in mine. And until a couple of years ago, I wasn't even a sketchbook person. But I don't know, about 5-6 years ago, I started doing sketchbooks. And I have tons of sketchbooks too. I love them. You never know what one you might need. Good night. Have a great day. Have a great evening, and have a good weekend or a week. We're on Monday, not Friday. There. What you doing, Bear Bear? I had one of my palettes that was empty that I was thinking about using, and I went to lunch, and I came home, and my dog, my big dog, the 100-pound dogger, he had stepped on it and dented it. I mean, I do love him, but dang, come on. You could have stepped around it instead of stepping on it. I think my dachshund had knocked it off because he was rooting in the blankets, and I had it sitting there because I wasn't sure which palette I wanted to put the watercolors in. Ouch, no. Also, I noticed that journalers, they like grunge and they ink all their sides, which I think is funny because I ink all my sides too. I like to outline. So I outline things. And so I think it's funny when they're like grunging up their stuff because I don't want to grunge up things. I just want to outline it so it stands out. I didn't really like this paper, so it will go in the scraps with the big scraps. And it might work better with another. So we're going to get out a different. Oh, I could do book pages. That's what I'll do. Let's see. What book pages do I have over here? And I have a hard time. Oh, these are like foreign language book pages. This color looks better. And I don't know who I got these from. This may have been from, if you watch Keisha's virtual vendors market. I think that's what she calls it. I may have got, this may be from one of those hauls. I don't like the white part of it. Not for this anyway. But I rip that off and then I save it and use it as different things. For my paintings, my big collages. Trample across the bed. Oh, yes. Yes. Magnets are a good thing to have so they don't go flying. Yes. My husband doesn't like the bed to smell like dog, so the dachshund kennels at night. He likes to go to bed. So I don't usually worry about that with him. But I haven't painted in bed in a long time. I paint at my on my couch, which is just as bad, but I don't care. Let's see. Ooh. Right there. There. So, oh shoot, that's not on line. How am I going to know if it's straight? That's pretty close. We'll take a guesstimate here. That's one thing. See, I don't like math because of my head injuries. I have dyslexia. What did I do with my glue stick? There it is. And so math, I don't want to have to math to make art. I hate having to do math with my art. I have trouble. This is terrible. I have trouble. Like, I think I'll have it the right size for the mats, because a mat is like 8 by 10, but in the middle where you could see the picture is like, it depends on how thick your mat pieces are around it. So I always end up screwing that up. So I have cheat sheets for myself. Same with when I'm making jewelry, lots of cheat sheets because I don't math so well. I'm not like easy math. I'm not so bad at, but man, there's some kinds of math that you shouldn't ask me to do. I should have put some over there. I may have to just do that. So I have a headache tonight. That's why I'm not painting because I think that just painting wouldn't help my head. So my husband was like, "What you doing tonight?" And I said, "I don't know because I have a headache." It's from the barometric pressure changes because we're having fronts move in and out here in Colorado. And as I've gotten older, the barometric pressure really affects me. It didn't used to, but it does now. At all. It didn't ever bother me. But I've noticed the last few years it does. So I thought collaging might help because it's pretty mindless fodder. I know it's not as much fun for you guys. Sorry. So who were some of your favorite art channels to watch? I watch The Creative Cove. I like her. Sometimes she annoys me, but I like her. And then I watch Gail Augustinelli, and she does art sometimes. She does different stuff, so I enjoy watching her, but she comes on at midnight every night. My time, because that's when she puts out her video, because she does a video every day. She's like superhuman. I would love to be able to do like video. I can't edit. Okay, I can edit, but I don't like to. So that's why I just do, most of the time I do lives or pre-recorded. Oh, you had rain in. My son lives in New Mexico. He lives in Santa Fe. He works up at the lab in Los Alamos. He is a nuclear engineer. So I'm hoping to go visit him. Well, I want to go up so I can take pictures and stuff of the annual balloon thing in September. So I was telling my son that after he moved there, you know. And he's like, they just had a balloon crash and people died. I'm like, shut up, Jeffrey. I'm not going to die. He was like, well, they did. I'm like, I'm just going to watch, okay? He was so funny. He's like, Mom, you can't do that. So I hope we're going up there. He's coming back next weekend. They work 4 10-hour days. And so he'll come back Friday and he might stay till Sunday. He moved out. He used to rent our basement out, and he lived with us until right after in February, till the middle of February. And so he left some stuff behind because he moved. They offered him the job, and then he was like to start in 2 weeks. So he just lasted at his old job long enough to get a good reference, you know. And then so I haven't seen his apartment or anything. White Sands. Ooh, that sounds cool. Yeah, he does it. That's what he wanted to be, was a nuclear engineer. And his first job out of college a year ago, almost exactly, was building water towers. And they use water towers in nuclear plants, obviously, to cool the things down and so it won't explode or whatever. So he did that, and then Los Alamos had some openings, and he applied, and they hired him right off the bat. It took a long time because it's just a long process, but he wasn't. Once he found that, he was never going to go back to not working there. He loves it. He's waiting. You have to have a clearance, and so he's waiting for his clearance. But he's taken all the tests and stuff, so he can now go into the lab more. He had to take a test on how to suit up and what to do in emergencies and that kind of thing. So they had a written test, and then they had a function, you know, where a test where you actually like did it. So a functional exam. So he passed both those. He is very smart, but he, well, unfortunately, he's like his mother, and he doesn't necessarily put the most effort towards things because he, you know, he knows it already. And that's kind of how I am. Like, I got through college without having to do much studying because especially psychology, that's one that it's just easy for me. And then art, well, I had to do the artwork, but yeah, there was one class, I think it was social. No, it wasn't social psych. I don't remember what it was, but I didn't want to take that class. And there were a bunch of sports people in it, which annoyed me because, you know, they get the easier tests and stuff. So I wasn't very, hold on, okay, so that'll be okay. So I went the first day, I got the syllabus and stuff, and I lost it, or I don't know what, but I realized I hadn't been to the class for like almost a month. And I thought, oh, I better go. You know, it was in a huge lecture hall, so it's not like they knew I was there or not. But the day that I went happened to be the first test. So I had to take the test. So I had to do that. I hadn't even read the book or nothing. Been to any lectures. I was so thankful, though, that I went that day. So as a result of my laissez-faire attitude, I think whenever I'd get a new job, I would have these dreams that like, I missed a credit. And so I didn't really have my degrees, you know, even all the way back to high school and stuff. And then I couldn't get the job and all this stuff. So I always knew when I was stressed about my jobs, because that reoccurring, okay, I like that. The paper with that. That reoccurring nightmare would happen. So I don't get those anymore. Haven't had one of them forever, but yeah, that was one that would happen. Okay. So yes, and I tell my children that you go to class or lectures or whatever, and even if you don't already know the material, then you need to learn one new thing out of it. Because you shouldn't just skip class. My mom was a teacher, though, so education was pounded into my head, obviously, and my sister's. She's a doctor for the VA system. So, you know, education was something very important in my family. So, okay, so we have these, but I have some little scrappers here. So I could put it on. And I don't know, I hope these don't say bad words. That's the one thing when you use foreign language stuff on your things, because you don't know what it says. And I could translate it, but that like would be work. I'm here to have fun, not to work. Although this one, I'm thinking, I don't have any of that, but I'm thinking maybe finding like a purple or a neon color to pop in there, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Let's do a funky shape here. Oh, if I do it this way, it will be upside down. See, that's my head injury. But I'm really good at Tetris. So I could put, that's not going to be so bad. So I'll do that. So we need this. So I'm going to put it on the back of here because I don't know what part I'm going to do that. So do you guys play games? What's your favorite games? I don't play like World of Warcraft or any of that. I played solitaire solitaire and, finish. They have a daily challenge. And so I've been doing that for years. I love solitaire. And then what games do I have now? I have this one game that's like a reverse Tetris. So they bring out a shape and it has arrows and you have to move all the arrows out. It's just problem solving a puzzle. So I do that. I can't remember what that one's called, but that one I've been having fun with a lot. That's funny. Yeah, I bet you could find some strange ones. Strange things happening. Yeah, I love getting foreign. So I have like Chinese and Japanese books. I love those. Because, and I have some old German books that are, well, this one's German, but I have some that are older and they have really good fonts, in them. And I love that because they're not just like our normal letters. Like this one. This is in Cyrillic, I think. But I love it because it's all cool. Couldn't learn that if you were going to give me $1 million. That's not something that my brain does. I'm a much more visual learner. Usually backwards. So like whenever I do a test, this got me into so much trouble as a kid in college. I do a test, I usually start at the back. Don't do that. But yeah, I would start at the back. And so it would screw up things. And it's just something I have to do. That's how the guy knew I wasn't passing algebra and I was like actually trying college algebra, I was trying to pass it. And I couldn't. And they said, well, you'll have to go have testing to prove, I'm like, I'm just stupid. I can't figure it out. And they were like, well, you have to go have testing. And I went and had it. And it was actually at the other university at KU. And the guy was like, why are you here? And I'm like, because I'm stupid and can't pass college algebra. And I said, and I'm really trying. It's not like the other classes where I just, do whatever to get by. And he's like, you are smart. You're one of the smartest people I've ever tested, but you had a head injury. And he knew exactly where on my head that I had that injury. And that's one of the things is I did everything backwards from the bottom up and stuff. He's like, you can't do that. You have to know that you do that. I never knew that until he told me. He's like, you have to know that you do that and you have to consciously not do that, allow yourself to do that. And I'm like, oh, okay. I had no idea I did it. And then I didn't even get out of college algebra because he said I was smart enough that I could figure it out. So I hired a tutor. We had no money. I don't know how we afforded the tutor, but the tutor helped me and I passed. I think that's the first time in my life I'd ever flunked anything. And then it was the only class I got a D in. I think I got a D+, but I actually tried really hard in that class. It just wasn't going to work. That's why I don't have a bachelor's in psychology. I have a bachelor's in art therapy and a minor in psych because statistics and I weren't going to get along. Let's see, what time is it? It is, I've been on an hour and a half. I told my husband I might only make it an hour. So I'm proud of myself. I think what I'm going to do on this one, while we're sitting here before I leave, is I'm going to do a rip something or other. Yeah, like that. I should have looked at the back of this and made sure there wasn't something on the other side. Yeah, it's not one of those. Okay, shoot. So I'm going to do this. Good, good, good. This paper is pretty brittle because it's old, so I can tear it pretty easily right along where I folded it. So there's that. And then I'm going to put this on. I like that green down there. So I think I'm going to put this piece over here, maybe right in the middle. So I'm going to do that. This will be the last thing I do tonight. And then if you're new here and watching and you haven't visited my channel before, gotta get that down. I every Thursday at noon Eastern, 10 o'clock Mountain, I do a virtual bead boutique. I owned a bead boutique and jewelry store in the early 2000s, like a brick and mortar one. And I get to relive those days. So I have fun. This week I have some new findings and stuff because I sell a lot of those because I do dollar bags. I guess that's what I'm known for, dollar bags. And but I have some new stuff and I'm going to be doing gemstones. And I found some Swarovski crystals. So I've got bags of those. Because Swarovski doesn't sell to, damn it, where's my lid? There it is. They don't sell to crafters anymore. So I found my stock, some of them that I had lots and lots of grosses of, which is 111, I believe, as a gross, if I remember correctly. So I'll have some of those. And who knows what else I might bring to the bead boutique. I have a bunch of pieces like jewelry I've made, but my jewelry doesn't usually sell so well on YouTube. I don't know. So I don't know if I'll bring it. Some of the new stuff we got, I'm going to make. Oh yeah, that looks good right like that. I'm going to make some jewelry and show you ideas like I used to do in the bead store. So I'll have some of that. Oh, 144. Okay. See, I knew I wasn't right. I knew 114 wasn't right. 144. That would be correct. You'd think I'd remember things like that, but I don't. One of the reasons I closed the bead store was my son was staying home sick, or he was off school that day. I don't remember. And somebody ran a stop sign and I T-boned them. It wasn't my fault. It was their fault for running the stop sign. Oh, look at that piece. This is going to be fun. I don't know what's going to happen. My head, and I had a huge concussion from that, and it reactivated a lot of my head injury stuff. So, and I was in a lot of pain. It gave me TMJ and it gave me it just screwed because the airbag hit me, My son was in the back seat and I turned, so it hit me sideways. So it messed up a lot of stuff, but he didn't get hurt. He was just scared. So I was really thankful for that, but it was really hard to keep a bead store going. And my husband helped, and my kids, if you ask my kids, that's some of their favorite memories was when we had the store and they would come help because we built all the displays. Well, my husband built them. I'd come up with ideas and he'd help me. And then we built the displays and the kids helped and stuff. So. Oh, hi. Well, I'm glad, Peacock Feather. I didn't see you, Jim Hope. I apologize. How are you doing? I didn't see that you were the one that said the gross was, yes. your package is all packed up and it'll go out tomorrow. So yeah, I got some new stuff. I was all excited about. Oh, and I sent you. Oh, oh, I feel for you too. I just now noticed it was you on your third comment. I was like, hey, that's Gems of Hope. Yes, so I will mail your stuff out tomorrow, and it'll have your 2 weeks of it in there. It was 14 ounces. It was 14.9 ounces because it was really heavy. I was like, oh my God, I'm like, is she going to go over a pound? I may have to hold some of it back. Good night, Cindy. I'll talk to you later. I'm getting ready to go off in a few minutes too. So, maybe on. So yeah, yours will go out tomorrow. It's all piled up over by the door. I just didn't take it in this afternoon. I should have. It was all sitting there, but I didn't. So it will go out first thing in the morning. I'll get up and get that in there. So you should have it. I can't remember. You live in Wisconsin, I think, if I remember correctly. And I think it said you should have it by Thursday or Friday. Friday, probably, since it'll go out Tuesday. So, yep, I got all that packed up. And then I watched Cindy Loves Jewelry and Paper Art. She has an auction every Monday night. She's in Arkansas, and I think she starts 5 o'clock her time, which is 4 o'clock mine, which would be 6 o'clock Eastern every Monday. And that's why I come on at 9:30, because that way her auction's done. But she, what was I going to say about that? I don't know. You should check her channel out for sure. Oh, during her auction today, I was packaging up beads and going through. I've got to do I did a bunch of hematite beads, and I found some others. And I found a strand that never sells. I had these strands from when I had my bead store, and they're like, they're multiples of things. So they had labradorite, rose quartz, which really looks more like clear quartz, peridot, garnet, and citrine. So I was packaging those up into bundles so that you just buy each bundle. You don't buy the whole strand. So it's that way you just get the ones you want. But I was packing all that stuff up today and tonight. So that's what I've been doing. That's one reason I'm tired. And I think I have a headache. I have this catch in between my shoulder blades, and it's killing me. It runs up into my neck and in my head. And I have muscle relaxants, but definitely Cindy's fun. She also does pop-ups 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times a week of paper crafting. So she's fun to watch. I can give you, I have lots of people. So tonight we did these little squares that I'm going to make into something I haven't figured out yet. So we did these 5 that look like this. I should pull this back out. Close your eyes if you get dizzy, because you're going to come in close and then go big. Okay. So we did those 5 with my handmade papers and an old painting. And then we did 3 more that I've started, and we'll see what comes of these. They kind of remind me of watermelon in summer. So we did those. We collaged these 2 envelopes that are peekaboo envelopes for something. I don't know. I may use it just as an envelope and cover the back and then send it with my Happy Mail, because I love sending Happy Mail. So maybe that's what I'll do with it. I don't know. So, think that's it. On Monday nights, I go anywhere from an hour to, I've gone 3.5 hours. But like I said, tonight my head's kind of hurting, so I won't. And look for I have a couple videos coming up that will be on a Temu haul of art supplies. And you saw some of that tonight when I showed you some of it. But I'll do the whole haul. And then I'm going to make that journal and record that for my swap and that's a good group if you are an art person, makers of mixed media art and artists. That's their Facebook group. It's for PM Studios. And then PM Studios, they make stencils with Yupo paper. They're fabulous. And they're on Sundays, Monday mornings, Tuesday afternoon, and maybe Thursday afternoon. So gentle pressure against the edge of your shoulder blade and the base of that side of the neck. Oh, I will. Thank you, James. I hope that's awesome. Oh, yeah, his thumbs weren't strong enough to get in there, but you could feel it, and he used his elbow and you could feel the knot kind of move, like crunch. So yeah, he's been helping me, because if I walk, even like yesterday we were out, or Sunday we were out, which is yesterday, I guess, we were out and took a walk and it hurt. I was like, we have to go home now. I have to take a muscle relaxant. So, and I put some, I have a really bad neck from the head injuries and car wrecks and stuff. So, and knots in my shoulders and my neck. Are they on YouTube? Yes. Their feed is, I know. I don't like Facebook either. I just do that group. I do a couple groups. Their feed is PM Artist Studios, all one word. Artist Studio. Yeah, no S in the artist, just artist and then studio. And they're on live 3 times a week. They're great. 4 times a week now they're on. So they're fun to watch. And I definitely recommend them. And I was trying to think. Oh, Darcy's Misadventures with Mixed Media. No, Darcy's Adventures with Mixed Media. Something like that. You can look up Darcy and Adventures of Mixed Media, and you'll find her. She's funny. She's kind of like does what I do, only she does like jelly printing and journal making. And then Carrie the Crafter, it's under Carrie Griffiths. It's CERI and then Griffiths. He's another artist that's on. I don't know. I'll have to think of some more for you. Oh, Dee Dee Willingham. Oh, you found him? Good. Dee Dee, it's DEDE. Willingham. She is on Mondays and Wednesdays, and she is a fabulous artist. She is fun to watch. She usually does 2 or 3 hours in the morning, and she does collage, but she's also a calligraphy artist, and she makes journals. She makes lots of stuff. She does pet portraits. So she's one of the artists that I truly love watching every week. Plus she, on our community tab, she recommends books each week. So I have a lot of them, being a former teacher and therapist, but some of them I don't. So she's enabled me to, spend more. So thanks, guys. I will look forward to seeing you all later this week or around YouTube on other channels. I'll try and say hi, or if I don't see you and don't say hi to me, and then I'll notice you. Have a great week, guys. Thanks for coming to my studio tonight.